So what David Chappell is trying to argue in his paper is that there is often a view in the field that the desire, and I think he's talking about his time, so in 1977, that the desire for a better life in heaven, that is assumed to be the desire for Pure Land, to go to Pure Land, is a product of simple-minded people. But he argues that, especially for what concerns China, but in general, what he's generally trying to argue is for Pure Land in general, the development of Pure Land in Buddhism is nothing that simple. So before moving on with the analysis, the author wants to first sketch the important developments of Mahayana Buddhism and how they affected the Chinese Buddhist interpretation of the Pure Land. So the first idea is the one about a Buddha land. That was a development of Mahayana Buddhism. A Buddha land is the sphere of influence of an enlightened one, as we've seen. But the important thing here is that Buddhas, in this theory, Buddhas and phenomenological Buddhas, like Sakyamuni or Maitreya, are considered only apparitional bodies. What does that mean? It means that Buddhas are seen as a temporary manifestation of the one realm of truth that is called Tathagata. I hope my pronunciation is correct, and if not, I'm sorry for that. And this is connected with the doctrine of Trikaya that says that reality can be seen as threefold: through a phenomenological, a reward, and a true. This is connected with the body of Buddhas, but that stands for three realities. Then there is the idea of two truths, the idea that reality is also connected with the idea of two truths, a conventional and an ultimate truth, as we've seen, the idea of a Buddha land, and then there is also the idea that there is an evolution of the Bodhisattva ideal. For example, he says about Dharmakara that became Amitabha Buddha when he reached the full enlightenment by reciting 48 vows. And these vows purified his land. So when the Bodhisattva becomes Buddha, he purifies a land and makes it become a pure land. So when discussing the Chinese reflections on Pure Land Buddhism, the author wants to stress two important facts. The first one is that there were major doctrinal efforts to classify and understand Pure Land Buddhism. However, these doctrinal efforts were very often made by thinkers that were not Pure Land followers. The second one is that the main scriptural sources for those thinkers were frequently not classical or canonical Pure Land texts. When in the main body of the paper, the author describes and discusses the theories of different authors, that is, Seng Chao, Hui Yuan, Che Yi, and Tao Chou. However, there is a very big difference between these. There is a first group that is the one made by Seng Chao, Hui Yuan, and Che Yi. They all try to classify Pure Land. However, their classification is a secondary elaboration of the one more fundamental motive that they see. That is, for them, reality is twofold. And for them, there is a paradigm of essence and function. So in their idea, reality, as said, is twofold, and there is no room in their thinking for a strong concept of Pure Land or reward Buddhas at an intermediary stage between ordinary life and true reality. So in their theory, that stems from the Trikaya theory, the reward body is out of the context. There is only the apparitional body and the true body. So for them, it's just a matter of a response land, Intu, connected with the apparitional body, and true land, Zhengtu, connected with the Dharma body or Dhammakaya. Instead, Tao Chou, who was a follower of Pure Land, says that Amitabha is the reward body, so he insists on the Trikaya doctrine, and that the land of Amitabha, that has also a reward body, is a reward land. So Amitabha in general involves all the three bodies, apparitional, reward, and true, and his reward body is eternal. So we come to the conclusions. First, there is Tao Cho's doctrine that fits into the pattern of other Mahayana's doctrines that all see an increased preoccupation with the second body of Buddha, that is the reward body of Sambhogakaya. Why are they all preoccupied with the reward body? Because the idea of a reward body bridged the gap between ordinary illusory experience and ultimate truth. And Amitabha and his land were seen as an expression of this reward body or Sambhogakaya. On the contrary, other thinkers that were not giving Pure Land the importance that Pure Land devotees gave to Pure Land stressed the paradigm of essence and function. That is a very Chinese paradigm in Buddhism. In their theory, the middle body of Buddha dropped out of the Trikaya theory. So the reward body dropped out of the theory. And Amitabha came to be identified with the inferior position of response, yin. If we want to sum up, finally, we can say that there is a common stock of underlying principles in 5th and 6th century China when discussing Pure Land. The first one is the use of the Trikaya doctrine as an organizing doctrine for the Pure Land. However, especially in non-Pure Land devotees, there is the use of the paradigm of essence and function. And lastly, the idea of the two truths, conventional and ultimate truth, that these two truths were generally appeared to as a vehicle for authenticating expedient practices, especially by Pure Land devotees.